Okay, introducing my next featured artist on my show. We have Lauren South joining me on my radio show, syndicated show and podcast. So I just want to say welcome to my show, Lauren South.
Hi, Dan. Thank you very much for having me on.
That's right. That's fine. So welcome to my show. Where in the world are you situated right at this moment?
So I am based in Rugby, which is slap bang in the middle of the Midlands. Yeah.
Yes,
Um,
I know it. But I am a Midlands boy myself, so I'm not really too far from you. I'm from the southwest Birmingham area.
oh, right. Not too far away then.
Just down the M42. And yeah,
Yeah.
brilliant. Warwickshire. Real. Right. Geography aside, I just wanted to get you on to chat maybe some of your records that you have recorded.
Yeah. Thank you. I recorded my first solo album last year, and I released it in November 2023. And yeah, it's gone well so far. It's nice to have some music finally out there in the world, really. So yeah, I really appreciate you having me on to chat about it today.
Great. And now your music, how long did it take for it to finally be released?
Oh, well, it took a while to be honest. Life has a habit of getting in the way of extra things that you're trying to do. So I think start to finish, well, it more or less took probably about 8 months in the end.
Mm.
So I used a friend of mine. I actually recorded at a friend's house over in Whitnash near Leamington Spa. And we kind of did it over weeks at a time. So rather than having one specific recording session, we ended up just recording bits and bobs really. So yeah, it was the way that worked around family commitments and work commitments for me. So yeah, it is. It's still a bit of a novelty actually to have it finished and ready.
That's good. So the 8 months of hard work here and there, you got the final product and you're very satisfied with it.
Yes, I am. I had some brilliant helpers. So Bill Bates, who recorded and mixed and mastered it with me, it was just brilliant and very, very patient while I changed my mind several hundred times on the tracks. And yeah, I was lucky enough to work with some brilliant local musicians who have been doing a couple of gigs, a couple of full band gigs with me. So I'm actually in a duo as well. And so my duo partner Keith Donnelly is all over the album, and so is double bass player extraordinaire John Parker, percussionist Ben Haynes, and a fellow folk singer also from Warwickshire, Ellie Gowers.
That's amazing. And one of your songs is called The Swimming Mermaid and The Swimming Lad. That's quite a standout song title.
Oh, thank you. So that one is the one song on the album that I actually I found a poem by William Butler Yeats, and it's a really short 6-line poem of the same name, The Mermaid and the Swimming Lad, and it really spoke to me, and so I decided to write it a bit of a longer narrative and make it into a story song really. It's
Right.
got a good folky death in it at the
Yeah,
end.
folky, yeah. It's got a good listen. I recommend that for the listeners. And when the audience listen to your music, what would you like them to capture from your music?
Oh, well, I guess I quite like my songs to be able to speak for themselves. I don't like to kind of give too many really strong messages across. I think my songs are mainly about, I guess, if people have a shared love like me of nature and the natural world, the night sky, and generally being a mum. A lot of my songs have those kind of recurring themes in them.
Mm.
So yeah, I kind of hope that people find their own ways in and take their own messages from my songs.
I mean, puns aside, Mother Nature has that played a bit of an inspiration, put this record together, recorded.
Yeah, massively, massively for me, and just family life in general, and the idea of just being grateful for what we've all got, not getting too wound up in the general day to day madness that is life.
hmm Agreed. One of your songs you released was called Jessica. That's a lovely name for a girl's name. Jessica is. What's this song about, please?
Thank you. Yeah. So Jessica, it was born after a sort of turbulent time in my life, and it's basically about. She's a fictitious character, Jessica, and it's basically about not looking back and just moving forward with everything. So it features a walk around my local area in rugby. And it's I always say in my live gigs, it's the song that is about making lemonade out of life's lemons. So turning things around and doing something positive with whatever rubbish is chucked in your direction.
Of course. And taken off your album, Tiny Boat. That's a single title from the album of the same name.
Yeah, so that's the title track. Um, and I chose it as the title track because it's one of the songs that gets the most reaction. So I've played the songs out for quite a few years now. Um, and it's one of the songs that people always seem to remember. It kind of sticks with them. And if people are going to come up afterwards, it's usually they mention that song as being one that they've enjoyed. So yeah, the Tiny Boat song, it's one of my more simple songs. But yeah, I kind of wrote it a good few years ago now, and it's really all about appreciating the things that are right under our noses. Life gets so busy sometimes that we sort of forget what's really important. So it's about keeping those close to you,
Yeah.
even closer, really.
Has meaningful then.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah,
Certainly
that's
is for
good.
me.
Have you had any opportunity to create music videos for your songs, your music?
Yeah, a couple. So a really lovely friend agreed to help me make some videos. I'm not very good with the tech side of things, but yeah, I made a couple of videos to go with the title track, the Mermaid and the Swimming Lad, and that's on YouTube on my YouTube channel, and so is the Mermaid and so is Tiny Boat as well. They were quite fun to make. It involved me. Going right up to the waist in the river in Stoneleigh in Warwickshire, to kind of try and get that watery feel for the Mermaid and the Swimming Lad. There's lots of reeds. There's a part of Stoneleigh where this reed grows called mermaid's tresses. So I thought that would be quite good to kind of get that in there in the video. And then yeah, there's a dry land video online for Tiny Boat as well.
Cool. And do yourself play any musical instruments?
Do I play musical instruments?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, like piano
Yes.
or guitar or
Yes.
fiddle.
So I grew up. My early career was I'm a violinist by trade. I was classically trained and a pianist. And then I went towards writing my own stuff relatively recently, and became more of a vocalist. I used to have a lot of problems with my throat, but I had my tonsils out as a grown up, and have never looked back. So I'm now a singer and a songwriter. I teach violin, viola, and piano. And I write a lot of my songs on tenor guitar and shruti box, and they were my lockdown purchases. I didn't play them before COVID, and I kind of needed a bit of an antidote. I have three children, and trying to homeschool three children was as you know, a little bit intense. So I
Mhm.
decided to buy some new instruments, and that's really where this album came from. A lot of the songs, even if they were existing, they weren't existing in this format that I've got now. So yeah, it's a nice record for me. I felt really strongly that they ought to be all on the same collection, just as a snapshot of me writing my own stuff rather than playing other people's.
It's good to be versatile, isn't it? Extra bows to your string.
Yes, yes, yeah. So I'm always up for learning new stuff.
Mm. And are you independent artist as well? Independent?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm just me for the solo stuff. And then I'm in a brilliant duo called Donnelly and South, and we tour around the country doing gigs and events and festivals and all that kind of thing as well. So it's really good fun, really good
That's
fun.
that's great. And you mentioned your music can be folky in places. Does traditional Irish music play an influence in your songwriting and lyrics?
Yeah, I wouldn't say just particularly Irish. I'd say just generally traditional folk. I was brought up on a lot of traditional folk and a lot of music from the folk revival. So I definitely have that flowing through my veins. That's kind of the way that I choose to listen as well. It's that in that sort of direction. So I would definitely say folk inspired.
That's good.
Yeah.
And which folk artists living or no longer with us do you listen to or have been influenced by?
Oh my goodness, that's so difficult because I've always got different favourites. I think currently I'm really into listening. There's a lovely duo called the Brothers Gillespie, and I absolutely adore their music. I was brought up on bands like Steel I Span, listening to Maddie Pryor and Sandy Denny, um, and Pentangle. I listen to a lot of people like Cara Dillon, um, Kate Rusby. Oh, so many
Hmm.
people. Yeah, I love all the folk idiom really.
Oh, that's good. And where's best for people to follow you on social media? So do you have a website or can people join, like a mailing list or something?
Yeah, so I do. I have a website, laurensouthmusic.com. And I try to be, when I remember, I try to be active on Facebook, Lauren South Music, and Instagram as well. And yes, I do have a mailing list. If you click through from my website, um, then there's a mailing list there. But I also have a gig list that I try and keep updated on my website as well. So if people want to find out where I am, then yeah, go
Great.
and have a look over there.
Like local gigs as well, people can see where you're playing at.
Local gigs. I don't get a lot of local gigs. I seem to be driving this year and last year. But that's brilliant. I love it. I really love touring round. But yeah, we tend to get so we're with a booking agent for the duo, so we tend to go a little bit further afield these days, which is lovely. But occasionally I'll be doing I'm playing Warwick Folk Festival again this year, so that's a nice local place to come and have a listen.
Yeah, so Warwick's a beautiful town, isn't it? It's well
And
worth
an
it.
amazing festival, so supportive.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, thanks very much for your
amazing
time
festival.
today, and
Well, thank you.
we'll look at getting one of your tracks played on my show. Should we go with the Tiny Boat song?
That would be
Yeah.
absolutely lovely. Yeah, and the whole album is available on Spotify, or it's across all the streaming
Yeah.
platforms as well. But if you want to, I would prefer it if you want to listen direct. Then do go to my Bandcamp page, Lauren South Music, because they tend to treat artists the best.
Sure, we have covered that in previous interviews, but yes, 100%. Brilliant. Thanks for your time today. A contribution to the show.
Thanks
Really
so
delightful
much.
speaking with you. Brilliant. Lauren South on my show.